cause I'm popping, cause I'm popping, cause I'm popping.
Now we're ready? Now we're ready. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, and welcome to another episode of the Mindminx Show. I am your favorite Mindminx, and we are here actually live on location at Absalom, located at 223 DeGraw Avenue in Teaneck, New Jersey, the official sponsor of the Mindminx Show. And we're going to be doing remote shows here for a little bit while our new studio is under construction. So I'm super excited. All right, we have super special guest for two reasons. One, because all my guests are special. But two, because this is also the first anniversary of the Mindminx Show. So I'm super excited about that. Yes, applause, please. Thank you. But today I have an amazing author who I have to, and I did confess this to him, I'm not an avid reader, and I was actually reading his book. So I'm super excited. Let me switch my camera around so everyone can please welcome Mr. Kem Richards to the show. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Thanks so much for coming all the way out this way.
My pleasure.
And I understand you have a super busy afternoon, so I'm very happy that you're giving us a little bit of your time, and thank you for, this is our first setup remotely, so thanks for your patience.
My pleasure.
All right, we're here to talk about your books. Before we get into it, I want to talk about you.
Okay.
So you're Brooklyn raised.
Yes.
Yes, so you're born and raised out there. Talk about your history, because not for nothing, from what I was reading, you went to school for music.
Yes.
You're not in music.
I was for a very long time, and I actually started writing. I started writing poems when I was a kid, and I was very much into art as well. And then after I left Brooklyn, I went into music. I started playing the piano and the flute and saxophone, and for many, many years, I would say more than 15 years, that was my passion. That was my thing. Like, that was everything to me, you know? And then I went into the music business aspect of it, and I wanted to learn about contracts and artists and what to do, what not to do, how to protect yourself.
Okay.
And I ended up at Sony Music. And after that is when I started writing about all my experiences and compiling them into The End of May, which is what you have.
Really? So that experience is what creative, and so I'm not gonna lie, this book is very intriguing to me. I love your main character. It does feel real. Like the experiences that she's had feel real.
Yeah.
But so when you were in the music industry, like what besides trying to help out, like, did you want to be an artist yourself, and then it translated? Because I have a friend who is doing the same thing. He's a singer, an R&B artist, going to law school to do exactly that, be able to help represent up-and-coming artists to protect themselves. So it's interesting that you said that. I need to introduce you to Kenya.
Okay,
he's
great,
awesome.
Nice.
But like, how did that? What was always your intention to want to become on the business side of it? I mean, because if you had such a passion for all the instruments, like, that's not something you could just, I'm going to play saxophone today, and then
I know what you mean. I wanted to be a famous artist.
Okay.
So to speak, right? And yes, the market is very saturated, and so I figured, well, if I'm gonna be an artist, I need to protect. Like I said before, like, I need to protect myself, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go on tour, and so as you get older, you get smarter, and so like your friend who's an attorney, I believe that it was important for me to do what was necessary, because I've seen many people get cheated out of deals, and there was a deal that I had gotten cheated out of, like, a long time, before I went to Sony. And so I was thinking, I was like, you know what, I have to do this. I have to get myself grounded, do what I got to do, and learn the business end of it to protect myself later on. But
That's smart, though. A lot of people don't think that way.
Yeah. That's true.
There's so many kids that get
That's true.
so
It's easy.
hoodwinked and
Exactly, and it's easy to get caught up in that. It really
especially the lifestyle.
is. Oh yes.
And
Definitely.
you talk about that in your book. And I'm teasing everybody on
Exactly.
purpose. I'm teasing you. So you're also an actor?
No,
Oh, I thought I read that somewhere.
an actor?
Yeah. No? All right. My research not so good. But you were a real estate agent.
Yes, correct.
Is that where is that also like where you got some of your experience
Yep,
for
that's
okay,
correct.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it away, don't worry. And then it says also you studied psychology. So and that I know that plays into your here's question number 1.
Okay.
Which was your first book?
The End of May.
The End of May was your first. Okay, so then that worked into your second book, which is the Gallucci Gallery.
Correct.
That one I don't want to mix the two.
Yeah.
I know me, I'm going to start getting my characters confused, so I can't wait to get into that one. But when did you start writing? How did the music and that business aspect become writing?
So, like I said, when I was a child, I started writing poems, and people loved them. And then I'm more focused on the music part of it later on. And then, no, like I said before, like with Sony, I was at a point in my life where I felt like I needed to do something that was extraordinary. And I need to, what better way to write a story than to take all your experiences and compile them into one and come up with a character. I mean, I could have made it a biography, but nothing really tragic happened in my life where I was thinking, well, I have to write this biography. You know, this has to be something I want the world to see. I found an outlet, so to speak, because this was when I was doing Sony and the real estate agent part of it. That's when the market crashed, the recession. And so I thought, well, I need to get out of it
Okay.
and use the hardships that I've had, you know, up until that point to cultivate a story and use a main character that is somewhat like me, or a large part of me, and integrate everything that I've learned in, well, how long was that? Like 30. So in the last 30 years, I was thinking, well, you know, I have all this stuff, all this information, let me compile it and make it into something great.
Nice. Well, you definitely did. So let's dive right into Marcella.
Sure.
So Marcella could be anyone. Like I was saying, I completely identified with her. I'm sure many people could. So this is a story, a very intriguing story, because it's not easy for people to come to New York City
Right.
and immediately feel a part of it. It's one thing, like, and you know, she did the touristy thing when she first got there, and her cab driver was really cool. You know, they came from Newark International, and you know, he let her get out of the car. Like, what cabbie lets them get out of the car so she could buy the locket, which is an important part
Yes.
of that whole thing. And I cheated a little bit. I went to the end and went to the page, so which I thought was sweet, but I haven't gotten to there yet. So I want to see that progression. But she comes to New York and knows that this is her home. Like, immediately feels. But she has a different advantage that not many people. She is in a relationship with someone who, a Wall Street guy, so he has got money. Central Park West.
Yes. Beautiful area.
And not just Central Park, but the penthouse.
Yes.
So that's not a typical. I think that was the only. I was like, yes, that's an aspiration, but like she like walked right into it. So
Yes.
is there any? So no, I do know this. So she was in the industry, but because they now required education, she went back to school. So it kind of like pulled her out of work, so to speak, and then she had to get back into it. Now, the question I kept asking throughout the whole book was, where is she from? Where is she from?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
most people are from a small town that are like, you know, big lights, big city. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
So where did you, because you were Brooklyn raised and born and raised. So how did you decide where your main character would be coming from? What influenced that?
Well, my influence came from watching a slew of movies where you have the small town girl coming into the big city, not knowing much, and that has a great impact on the story because there's a lot of character development that happens from not knowing much to being involved in this plethora of things and pleasure and entertainment and such. So I figured, I'm not from a small town, but I see the appeal. I see what Hollywood has done. I've seen what how impactful character development can be, and I decided to roll with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when it's interesting because you don't all out and give a whole chapter describing her, giving her background.
No.
I liked how you sprinkled it in.
Yes.
Like, I know how tall she is because I got to like chapter 8 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? I know that
Yep.
she's Latina because you just sprinkled it in. That was purposefully?
Yes, breadcrumbing.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I love
Well, it
doing
worked.
that.
It worked. Because it was funny. I honestly didn't think about it until you mentioned it in the book when you talk about it. By the way, are you talking in first person in the
First
book?
person.
So it's Marcella telling us.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I need
Yes.
to cheat. Is she retelling? Is she recounting something? Like,
She
do we?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, she's telling her experiences.
Okay.
But when you read it, it's going to be like you're in her shoes.
Right. No,
know?
I definitely
Yeah.
felt that. But there were some instances where I would read and I was like, oh, wait a second. This isn't happening right now.
And it would feel that way.
Yeah.
And that was done purposefully.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes.
So it worked.
Yes, it
So
does.
congratulations.
Yes.
But she does meet some pretty intriguing people. Okay, I cheat a little bit, like I told you. My cousin did read, and so I know about Vicky, but I haven't gotten to there yet.
Okay.
But she's met some great people along the way. She does have the support. Originally, she has the support of her boyfriend, who again is this Wall Street guy, but it doesn't turn out well, which I feel is like the landscape of real life.
It is.
Like, you go with these intentions, and the path that you're on is no longer the same.
Yep.
And it's different when you're not in the same place because they move in together at the beginning of the story.
Yes.
They weren't living together. So, yeah, everything is peachy keen when you're not living with the other person.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden the trajectory is just completely different. I love her, and I'm talking way too much and you're not talking enough.
No, that's fine.
So her friendship with, let's talk about this.
Okay.
So she goes out with her best friend, comes and happens to be in the city, so they go out one night and she meets this guy by the name of David. And just by conversation, he says, I can help you get an interview.
Yes.
And we fast forward, she got the job. It's supposed to be her first day.
Yes.
She gets to the building. And then, is it Abigail who tells her that Mrs. Price said, sorry, we went with somebody else? Okay,
Yes, that's
so
correct,
she would not, that was not acceptable to her. She almost allowed defeat, but she was like, no, fuck that.
Exactly.
And she went back up there, and she happened to, Miss Price happened to be getting on the elevator while she was going to go. So she, slammed on that emergency, which I love. I want that fucking gumption. I want to be able to do that shit. And the brake, not the brake, what do you call it? The emergency stop button.
Yes.
And just lets her have it. And that is impressive. That could have gone one of two very different ways.
Exactly. Yep.
But I think that's what's missing. A lot of people are so what can I do for you? What can I do for you?
Exactly.
No, I know what I can do for you, and you're making a mistake.
Exactly.
That's different. Same thing was said,
Yeah. Yep.
but huge difference.
Exactly.
So I could go on, obviously, but you are on a timetable, sir, because you have some important stuff going on this afternoon. Tell us about these character developments. Why was it important to have these characters together in this, and what do they mean to you in your personal experience?
So we all have people in our lives, and those people help us along the way, right? Some are for a reason, some are for a season, and the people in her life some are for a reason and some are for a season, and they help shape her journey. We can all make, we all have the ability to make her own choices, and of course she makes her own choices, but you have that one friend who kind of whispers in your ear and tells you, well, you should do this, try to guide you in the right way. Maybe you should do this, or maybe you should do that. And because, she's in the city for the first time, she's on cloud 9, she's not really thinking 100%, so she has that one friend next to her to kind of help her and kind of keep her on the straight and narrow, I guess you can say. And Marcella is headstrong, she's brave, she is a go-getter, and what can I say about her? She's relentless. She's going to do whatever she can to get to where she needs to be, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending. Yeah, so.
I know I haven't got there yet, but what I'm not like. So from everything that you said, it almost sounds like she's very cold-hearted, and she's not. So I think that's the only thing that's missing from your description.
Right.
Like she's a very real person. It's not like those glamazons that you see walking with their heels ticking down the floor. And obviously she works at Vogue. So, but all right, so. I have 9 minutes with you, and I'm going to use them wisely. So I want to make sure that everybody sees. All right, so can you, Mike, are they visible? Okay, so this is the end of May, and I got my trusty, I'm almost there. Okay, so I'm going to give away a couple of things. So obviously her and her boyfriend don't make it. Oh, I have a question. How long is this whole time period?
This is within the entire book?
Yeah.
A year.
Oh, it is a full year. Okay, all right. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. In any case, all right.
It's paced evenly.
No, it definitely is. I'm not sure where, but obviously we're getting to warmer weather now. So she gets her, so things don't work out with the boyfriend. I'm not going to spoil it, but you need to read what happened. Typical, unfortunately.
A lot of stuff happens, yes.
Yeah. And she gets her own apartment, and the guy that helped her get the job, not get the interview, because even in the book she's like, you got yourself
David.
the job.
Yes.
Yeah, David. She builds a relationship with him. And I gotta say, she kept herself pretty honorable. Like she knew that there was stuff happening, but she didn't want to disrespect her relationship, even though her relationship was
exactly
a contract at that point.
Yeah.
But she has a good friend at work that she made, which is very rare. So congratulations. So Abby is her friend and was there for her. She got to see a lot of the bad stuff happen, literally firsthand. And are we going to be upset that things don't work out with David? Because I like that. I like them.
I like them too. I like them too, but I don't think that you're going to be, you might be upset, but other things happen.
Tell me he turns out to be a bad guy.
David is a good guy.
Makes it so much harder.
David is a good guy, but she turns out to be the villain in that
Really?
scenario in that relationship with them. Kind of like the villain. Not a complete villain, but, the one who just kind of says, you know what, we need to talk. It's those...
But you kind of preface it. You do plant that seed that this is a rebound. Unfortunately,
it is.
It's a rebound.
It's a rebound, and rebounds never work.
Right.
In my experience, it never work. Yeah.
And so I was so upset when you wrote that. I was like, God damn it. But okay.
But the book does have a happy ending, so.
Right. Well, yeah. So that's, like I said, I cheated. I picked a page in the back and I saw. So again, I'm going to talk about this locket. So her first day in the city. This great cab driver who doesn't have an Indian accent. And I thought it was hysterical that she's like, not to be stereotypical, but you don't have an accent.
Yeah.
And he starts laughing. Oh, I think I did make note of that too. Hold on. I wrote note in the book because I thought that was interesting. Oh, because he says that he likes his heritage. Being different is what makes you stand out in a place like this with so much competition around. Holding on to who you are and being yourself in the process is the most important, as I believe. But he, his parents wanted him to acclimate. They didn't want him to be. But I literally underlined that in the book. So, especially, you're right, especially in New York City where you need something. It's so easy to just get swallowed up by the entire life.
Yep.
So,
it is. And being different standing out, is important. And New York City is saturated, and I mean, people from all walks of life come to New York to make it, right? So
If you can make it here.
exactly, and immigrant parents, they want better for their children, especially if they move to the States. So my parents, they moved to the United States back in the late 70s because my dad and my mom, they wanted a better life for me and my sisters
From where?
and my siblings, and from more, and
Where did they come from?
from Trinidad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Trinidad. So yeah.
So it was funny because he allowed her to get out, and I literally was laughing, and I was like, how the hell did he not lose his temper at her when the cop was there? Like, he was
Yeah.
more pissed at the cop than at, but yeah, it's intriguing, the kindness that you do.
Yes, and you do find that. I wouldn't say that it's rare in New York City, because there's the stereotypical New Yorkers are rude, type of thing, and I can't say. Okay, I've met some rude New Yorkers, but majority of people, when if you're standing in line for coffee or whatever, they'll sit there or they'll stand there and have a conversation with you.
Right.
You're waiting in line for a ticket or something like that. People will talk to you. You ask them a question. I've never had a problem where people were just rude and closed off and didn't want to talk to me or anything like that. So, I mean, I use that example as Saeed being this good guy, but Saeed's in her life for a reason as well. And
Why, does he come back?
yes, he does. So he drops her off at her penthouse, and they have a great conversation on the way, and he kind of shows her a little bit. Well, she's intrigued by New York City.
Wait, before you
everything.
go on. So
Yes.
yes, like I remember there's one point where they're stuck at a light, and she rolls down her window and she buys some peanuts from the guy. But the way you described, like I could hear and I could
Yes.
smell. So trust me, I am not a reader. I do not. My ADHD doesn't know how to focus long enough to read, and I'm literally sitting here remembering
That's
this.
very
So
good
I
thing.
hope
Yeah.
you understand that how much that for me that means.
Yeah.
Great book. So yes, Saeed,
Good description,
but
yeah.
he lets her get out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
She had to go to the bathroom. Like, not for nothing. The ride from Newark Airport into the city is not a quick one. So, but she finds this locket, and I thought it was because she's like, a first timer is what he called it, right? But I thought it was so funny because the locket, she falls in love with this locket, and it's written in Italian or whatever, inscribed. She even tries the vendor to open the locket, and they can't open it. And the vendor's like, for you, half price. And she's like, no, I'll pay full price. I was like, yeah, she's definitely a first timer.
Exactly, and that's how people behave when they don't,
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know any better. So
So he drops her off, and I do remember when he dropped her off, he said something to like, she'll never forget him. That'll be, the first time in the city, your first cab driver.
Exactly.
So I was wondering if he came back. So
yeah, he comes back.
that's so cool.
Saeed's a good guy. You'll see. Yeah, you'll like him.
Like, to the point where I want to know, where's Saeed from? Does he live in the city, or is he from New Jersey? Because he was picked her up from Newark Airport. These are the questions I'm asking myself.
Yeah.
All right, so where
all
can
expect.
everybody find these works of art? So we have two books, Gallucci Gallery and
The end of May.
The End of May.
Yes, so you can find them on Amazon. Well, actually, you can purchase them on Amazon, but you'll find them on my website, which is www.grandierpublishing.com, and you'll see a description of the book, a synopsis of both books, and then that'll take you to Amazon where you can purchase it. So you
Okay.
can get the ebook, and you can also get the paperback.
Paperback. And we were discussing, because was it for End of May that you have a new, or the Gallucci Gallery that you have a new? Remember you said you changed the...
Oh, the Gallucci Gallery.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So I changed the cover just a slight bit, so that you can see the top where it says Kem Richards.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's a little bit different, but everything's the same. The story is the same. Nothing's changed on the inside.
So this is an extremely intriguing storyline, which is why I did not want to mix the two up. But I can't wait to get into this one next.
Yes.
This one, so the main character is a gallery owner, and she has, I don't want to say multiple, I know I'm saying it wrong. It is
correct.
multiple personality
That's
disorder.
correct, yes.
And her children are kidnapped. So I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get into this, but I know I'm going to mess up my characters. So I'm
No.
like, I can't wait. Oh, that's what I want to say. And I said,
Okay.
this is the first question I asked. Are you adapting this for screen?
Both of them.
Oh, are you?
Yes, but the end of May is already done.
That's exciting.
My business partner and I, Freddie Grant, he's a great musician, great engineer, and also a great screenwriter. And I wrote it by myself at first, like 2-3 years ago. And I submitted to a competition, and they gave me like a 7 out of 10, and I was like, okay, it was pretty good, but I didn't feel like adapting it, like reworking it myself. And I was like, I need somebody who's experienced. I'm just not gonna do it again. Like, I didn't have it in me to do it all by myself again. So I met Freddie last year around November, and I asked him if he had any experience, because he was giving me a little bit of background, and we started writing it, and we finished it in a couple weeks. Like,
wow,
it
that's
was
quick.
just and we clicked.
Nice.
It was just
I love when
natural, organic.
I love when a plan comes together.
So right now we have some prospects, some people looking into it, and hope to get it made really soon.
All right, I know I asked you earlier. I don't know if you want to talk about it on the air.
Sure, yeah.
Who do you hope, or who would you love to see play your main characters of Marcella, Abby? Ooh, I would love to see who plays Jess. That we didn't talk about Jess.
Jess.
I cheated with that one
Okay.
too. I know it's
Jess.
gonna happen.
Well, let's start with Jess.
Okay.
Okay, so Jess is that unhinged character. She's free. She's a free spirit, I can kind of see. I'm not sure who kind of embodies her spirit, and like an actress in Hollywood, but her mannerisms and such. I can see Scarlett Johansson playing her.
Really? No.
That's just who I had in mind.
Not
just
very-
like the attitude, But when it comes to like that free spirit, because each character has a little bit of me, so I'll use, like, Marcella is who she is, but she's different aspects of me.
Okay.
Right. And same with Jess, and same with all the other characters, right? But that's who I see for that. I also see I think his name's Justin Baldoni from Jane the Virgin. Have you ever seen that?
No.
That's the guy, her, one and only
Yeah.
that she meets.
I'm being good. I want to talk about this.
Yeah, and as far as Marcella, I see.
Who could play Marcella? Because not for nothing, she is like, she's different. It's not just.
Yeah. I see Brooklyn Sedano playing her.
Oh man, I have to look it up.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
You have a short. Where did I see your shorts?
On my website.
On your website?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was great.
Yeah, and that one is, what was it? KemRichards.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you want people to just go to Grandeur Publishing, or because I know you have Kem Richards and KB Richards, because you did write under pseudonym, but you're migrating more towards Kem?
Yes.
Okay. All
I
right.
am. Yeah, I feel like it's more personal, and I choose. I have two different ones for two different genres, only because I don't want to alienate my readership.
Okay.
KB Richards is for the psychological thrillers that I'll be writing.
Okay.
And Kem Richards is for the chick lit romance that I'll be writing as well.
I wrote that too,
So,
chick lit. I thought
yeah.
that was. Did you come up with that?
No,
somebody else
that's an
did.
industry term. Yeah, for that genre. So,
Oh wow, chick
yeah.
lit.
Yep, chick literature. So, I mean, and it all comes down to like a woman's journey, and that's what chick lit pretty much is. It's a woman starting from where she is and progressing throughout, the story and her journey.
Love it. Love it. All right. So I know that you have to get to, where are you going again?
Yes, I'm going to the Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center.
Yeah, to see an
You're all-
orchestra.
I thought you got all dressed up for me.
That too, I did. Why not, right?
Well, all right. So again, we can find you at grandurpublishing.com, which same name for your Instagram. And do you have Facebook as well?
No.
No? Okay. I did find you on YouTube. I think that's where I
Oh,
found.
okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, we have the end of May here, the Gallucci Gallery. I got mine signed, so haha. All right, so I want to thank you so much for
Yes.
coming on and
Absolutely.
telling your story.
Thank you for having me.
And I appreciate very much your patience. This is our first time shooting remote.
Yeah, no, absolutely, no problem.
And
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did
Aw.
enjoy it.
I missed my music.
I
It's
love
been
the
a while.
music. Yeah.
All right,
really
so
good.
thank you so much again. Everybody,
Thank you.
happy Sunday.
Happy
Go out.
Sunday.
It's a new week, so go own it. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Cause I'm poppin'.